farming simulator, but it's also an RPG too. So like, it's like a remix. Like, I don't know. It's interesting.
Right on. No, so I just picked up my Spider-Man after being laid off. I finally picked it up, and I am 90% done with that game. It took me a couple of months, but it's a fun game. Okay, so I have all of this COVID-19, blah blah blah. Let's have some fun. Wonder Woman and Black Widow being moved back. Black Widow for sure being moved back. Wonder Woman. How do you guys feel about that? Like, are you excited? Are you? I'm excited. I just want to that it's being pushed. Well, not even pushed back. Maybe just released digitally instead of a theatrical release because of this whole thing. How do you guys feel? How do you guys and gals feel about this? I'm a theater guy. I want to go to the movies. I want to see Black Widow. I want to see Scarlett Johansson this on the big screen. Ladies, guys, who wants to go first? Sara, Renee, TJ.
I'll take it. Here's what I'll say. I am so glad that Avengers Endgame came out last freaking year. Oh my God. if Avengers Endgame had gotten postponed, I'd be in jail right now because of the people that I've murdered for not being able to see that movie on time. You gotta be kidding
me. All right, Sara, thoughts? How do you feel?
I mean, it's hard. Like, I like watching movies in the theater, but they get really expensive, whereas I can buy it and watch it as many times as I want, and with whoever wants to watch it with me. So that's kind of a win to me. It will save me some money. They obviously can't release it into a theater right now. Like, they would just, like, there would be no one could see it. The theaters are closed. So
yeah. Renee, ma'am, Miss Renee.
I mean, I was excited to see it, but I understand that they had to postpone it. I wish they could do it digitally because, funny enough, I watched Onward with my family just now because Amazon released a new addition to their Prime service called Amazon Prime Cinema.
Ooh.
And so you could watch the movies that were already in theaters through the service. Well, I don't know how many more titles are released, but that'd be cool if they could do that for Wonder Woman. Or, you know, I'm like you, I like to go for the big screen. Because with the big screen, the lights turn down, you have that immersion, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm bummed, but at the same time, I understand why they had to shut down.
See, you look like you had something. I saw you doing this. What?
No, you know what? I was doing that because I didn't know about the Amazon Prime Cinema thingy or whatever that you were saying. So I was just like, totally gonna look right into that as soon as we're done here. But freaking. No, okay. So like, I'm of two minds. Obviously, I'm a huge Marvel fan. So like, yeah, like if you're gonna put it on digital, like I'm all about that. Like, but like for them, like I don't see it as a smart idea because like. I mean, we're in limbo right now. Who knows, like, how long we're going to be in this situation or whatever. But, like, I got to know that they're, like, looking at this, like, dude, there's so much money to be made in the theater on Black Widow. Like, all that money, like, of course they're still going to make some money if they put it on, like, digital or if they put it on their streaming service. They're going to make some money on it. But all that money is just, like, sitting there ready to be made, you know? Imagine they're gonna be like, oh, okay, like let's just forget about all this money that they can make on Black Widow, except for, and the only, me and you talked about this, Renee, but like the only reason I could see them putting Black Widow on digital is if somehow, like in an after the credit scene or something that spoils something later. You know what I mean? Like if they have, because it's Marvel and they like to connect everything. But if there's like something in Black Widow that you need to have seen to understand, like Falcon and the Winter Soldier or like Eternals or something, you know what I mean, later, that's the only way I would see them like, okay, never mind. Let's just get it out there so people can be caught up on the Marvel show. But like, I really don't think they're gonna do that because the one thing I know about Disney is like they want to make a buck, like above anything. You know what I mean? Like they're not gonna buy anything unless they know that they can exploit it, and they're not gonna push anything unless they know they can make a whole lot of money off of it. You know, and like that would be a huge loss for them to just put Black Widow on digital. You know, that'll be a huge loss. But big win for the fans though.
This is true. So I'm stealing your picture. I'm stealing your picture. Your question we had, was it yesterday? A couple days ago. So, ladies, who do you think is going to be a bigger movie? Black Widow or Wonder Woman 84?
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. Okay, do tell. Why?
Because she did so well her first go.
Uh-huh.
And then Captain Marvel came out as Marvel's standalone female superhero movie, and that tanked.
Did it tank? Really? I thought it made money.
It made money, but the demographic for it, you had a lot of males that were, I hate to put it out like that, but you had a lot of fanboys that totally downplayed Captain Marvel because it was a strong superheroine movie. But then Wonder Woman did so much better in comparison. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm losing my train of thought here. I'm sorry. But, man, I just feel like Wonder Woman has a stronger following. I don't know.
Okay. Sarah, what are your thoughts?
Well, personally, I hate to admit this, but I'm not really excited for Black Widow. And
why? Do tell.
It's like the solo effect, you know, like I already know what happens to the character, and so like I'm not as excited to watch it and see where she came from, since I already know where it's going. Whereas Wonder Woman, we don't know where they're taking her. Like, I mean, yes, there's like all that happened in the Justice League, but that wasn't her story. We know that she lives, but like beyond that, it's not really. You know, but we know Black Widow's whole arc, like, even how she came. I mean, this is the movie supposedly telling us how she has red in her ledger, and we know that she redeems herself and becomes the good person, and yeah.
But to me, and CJ and I talk about this, to me, this is kind of in between Civil War and Infinity War, right? This takes place in between that.
Yeah,
right?
It is.
Right, so I want to see it only because I want to see the family. I like that actress that plays her. She was in Fight with My Family. That was funny. And then I was telling TJ about this too, like out of nowhere, based on nothing. I was telling TJ, I'm like, I think this is how they introduce mutants, and they're going to do that by the way of Omega Red. Thoughts? Anyone? TJ?
I mean, I feel like you're only saying that because he's Russian.
Yes, that is exactly why. Because that's all I have. I have nothing else. I said it is thinly supported. That's all I have.
I don't think there's going to be any mutants in Black Widow.
Oh, Sarah, you and CJ are both my Spocks. Like, how dare you use logic?
They're going to save the mutants for like New Mutants when it comes out.
See,
they aren't going to do mutants in Black Widow.
It's funny you say that because CJ and I were talking about that too. We're like, the only way I see them is bringing someone from the MCU into New Mutants as a post scene, and the only person I can think of, and again, based because it's she's a mutant in the comics, is Scarlet Witch. I have no one. Who else could they bring in that's a big enough name in the Marvel MCU to introduce into the New Mutants?
Maybe they bring back Quicksilver.
Which Quicksilver? All right, which Quicksilver? The X-Men one or
the MCU one? I hated the fact that he died. Like anyway. That's a side note. That's rather than anything.
But the X-Men Quicksilver is still alive though.
Well, they gotta fix that. Also, you remember the twins in the Fox version of it. Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, they aren't twins unless you're in the MCU. There's literally a scene in one of the X movies where he's holding his younger sister in his lap watching TV or some crap.
It's called Days of Apocalypse. We don't talk about that.
And no, that happens in yeah.
Like Days of Future Past or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that happens in Days of Future Past. Yeah.
Does it really? I thought it was. I'm pretty sure. I thought that was Apocalypse. Was it Days of Future
No,
Past?
it's Days of Future Past because we don't talk about Apocalypse. All right, to rein us back in.
Yes, thank you. Rein us back in.
All right, so like with the as far as the Black Widow Wonder Woman question or whatever earlier, like I before like weeks ago, I felt the same way that Renee felt, like in that like I thought that Wonder Woman I was more excited for Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is very much right now an unknown quantity, you know, like the trailer that they dropped isn't so much. Like it shows some cool stuff, and they chose a really great song to play it to, and it does have some cool, like it intrigued me, you know what I mean? But that's the thing, I was their audience before they dropped the trailer, though, you know what I mean? Like I was already gonna go see Wonder Woman 2, period. But I was already gonna go see Wonder Woman 1, though, you know what I mean? Like I was already in the bag, but the trailer, it's very much an unknown quantity. And I think there's something to the fact that Wonder Woman has like this huge following. You know, I mean, she's just that much more of a popular character. However, after seeing the latest Black Widow trailer, it just looks so badass.
It really does.
Whatever, Black Widow. You know what I mean? But I just really want to see it now, though. You know what I mean? Like after I saw that last trailer, I'm like, dude, I really want to see this movie. It looks awesome. Yeah, I know she died, but whatever. Like I'm an action movie fan, and it's just piling it on for me. It's like, boom, here's some action, here's cool this, here's that.
And it's funny you say that because in this new trailer, I'm like, if they're using Taskmaster, I don't give a fuck about Taskmaster. But this one, I'm like, oh, Taskmaster can copy anybody's fighting style. And this, I saw him do this. I saw him do the Wakanda Forever. I saw him do the Captain Americas. I'm like, oh, mine has changed. My mind has changed. Prove me wrong, Marvel. Sara, Renee. Sara.
What?
Thoughts on TJ. TJ, Wonder Woman versus Black Widow. All right, Taskmaster. Never mind. Change that. Taskmaster. How do you feel about Taskmaster? What do you know about the Taskmaster?
I don't know anything about Taskmaster. I'll freely admit it. I might have played him in Lego Marvel Superheroes at some point, but
that's it. All right, Renee. What about you? How do you?
I'm in the same boat as Sara.
All right. So my first introduction. This is me dropping my comic book cred. It was in a Wolverine 167 in 2002, and it's him going to sing. What's this place called? Madripoor. And it's him saying, "Oh, I stole this from the Man Without Fear. I stole this from the Super Soldier." I'm like, "What is it?" And he's just in the comic. He's just like a C-list, D-list villain because everyone takes him out like that. But in this one, I'm like, this is Marvel doing Guardians of the Galaxy, pulling from their D-list, C-list players and putting them up front and center. So that's why I'm a little bit hesitant too because I'm like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, to your point, Renee, and that's what I find interesting is that if they chose Taskmaster as the villain for any of their other players, like if he was in Spider-Man or if he was in Iron Man or if he was in Black Panther, he would be the C-list, swat him away like a fly and he's nothing.
Right.
But they gave him to Black Widow, who doesn't have superpowers, so it makes him this formidable character because he can copy all these other people from the Marvel universe, and that's why I think it's that's why I think it's almost an inspired choice because when I see what he can do versus what I know that she can do, I'm like, this is almost kind of like a Terminator battle. You know what I mean? It will be very difficult for her to overcome that threat, and in the end, that's the essence of drama, right?
Okay, all right. All right, touche. Well played. So, all right, we got the Black Widows. We got her. I want to see it because of her thickness. Scarlett Jo is thick. I like that shit with double T. Wonder Woman. I'm excited for Wonder Woman because I'm surprised how much I liked the first movie. I like the character, I like the actress, and mostly I want to see how they bring back what's his face, Captain Kirk.
Steve Trevor.
Yes.
Yeah,
Steve Trevor.
Chris Pine's character.
Yes. He has a name, but I forgot what it was. Yes, Steve Trevor. How do you feel about that, Sarah? Start with you. How do you think they're going to bring?
I'm excited. How I think they're going to bring him back?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know. But I'm glad he's back. Like, I want her to have some love in her life, and I feel like she didn't really get that as much as she should have in the first movie.
Oh, also, she got some love.
Like what? Like one night of like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
one night of passion.
Yeah, but one of my friends, they showed us some footage at Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might have been 2 years ago now, or 1 year. I don't know. But she said she thought she saw part of the invisible jet in one of the things they showed us. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited for that.
Renee, and then I got some comments on the invisible jet.
Your thoughts, for me, like Sarah, I'm curious to see where the story is going, like how she's going to do in 1984. Like, I'm very curious to see what the story brings. And, I love the 80s, so I can't wait for some 80s vibes.
That song they used, I'm like, oh, that's a great song. I love that song a lot. CJ?
Yeah, I'm like supremely interested in Wonder Woman 84. Like, I love the character Cheetah, number one, and I love the actress Kristen Wiig. So I hope that people love them together.
Why is that funny?
But no, I'm really interested. Like the hints from the trailer that I got, even though like it doesn't give you anything, but it's like these hints. I feel like there's something like really sad gonna happen, like in the movie. You know what I mean? I'm like, I feel like somehow I'm gonna
get to kill off Chris Pine's character again,
right? Oh.
See, it's funny you say that because I didn't think about it, but now that you say that, they don't something. What Sarah was saying about she needs some more love, and Renee was also saying about Chris Pine. I was putting it together. Do you remember when it first came out that people were saying Wonder Woman should have a lesbian relationship? I think it's gonna be that because she grew up on an island full of women. That's all she knows. That is the norm for her. For her, I think Cheetah is gonna be a rejected lover for Diana Prince.
I don't know. I feel like the norm for her is Chris Pine because that's the only love she ever had.
I don't think growing up in an island of women makes you gay. Just a side note.
No, but okay. Right. I'm not saying that, but that is what she saw growing up, though, right? That's what she was. Again, in the comics I read, she was bisexual. She was like, I fell in love with who I fell in love with. Like it was, it was so.
Well, that's the guy who wrote her was all into that, and I'm glad that it's portrayed in comics too, even though they made him take out a lot of what he originally wrote.
But even in the sorry, buddy. Sorry.
But I think she's going back to an old relationship in this movie. At least I hope so. I like them together.
We'll see. Yeah, I love Captain Kirk. I love Gal Gadot. He will. You know what? Frack it. He is Captain Kirk to me. All right, I don't care. His name is Steve Trevor or Peter Parker. He is Captain Kirk. I love him, but and that's something I think we've talked about. Like, I just feel that she's in an island full. I mean, like to me, I just feel there should be some sort of representation of a lesbian relationship from Themyscira. That's all I'm saying. Because at least in the revamp that Grant Morrison did, she was also in a relationship with a woman. I'm like, which to me, I'm like, well, there's no men. Of course, that's and. Yeah, I think I'm thinking myself at the whole. Someone get me out of this, please.
I don't know. I mean, if like I feel like Wonder Woman, like because they didn't set it up like that, so like I feel like Wonder Woman herself, maybe, but like somebody from Themyscira, I mean, it wouldn't. I don't feel like I would feel like it was off to see a romantic involvement, like in in another scene or something. I don't think that would out of the movie or whatever to see like, oh, here's two like chicks from Themyscira who, found love with each other or whatever, But, Wonder Woman herself, like, they haven't set her up as the type of character that you're describing. You know what I mean? Like, they haven't set her up as that in this movie.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. So, so I brought that back. So, yes, I brought that back because I said I thought that Cheetah was a jilted lover from Diana Prince, and she becomes whatever. CJ and I talked about this too. Of remember how the main bad guy in the new movie Pedro Pascal hold the rock or whatever, saying that he can bring back whatever. I have a theory that that's what he uses to bring back Steve Trevor, and that's gonna be. And then based on nothing, and then TJ and I talk about this. Dad has to make a choice that's gonna kill or take back Steve Trevor. Just I have a feeling. Renee, Sara, TJ.
Is it because he's Russian too?
I hate you so much, Sara. Camera's on you, Sara.
Oh, well, I'm just ready to wait and see what happens. I don't really know. I don't really have any thoughts. I've been actually avoiding the trailers a little bit because I want to be surprised.
Ooh, taking the page out of CJ's book, I see. You does that. All right. That's all I have topic-wise. Anyone want to bring anything, add anything that they have in mind?
Okay, so I'll just say this real quick. I think it's interesting. I was watching this podcast, and this actress was on the podcast, and she was talking about how she had a canceled shoot on in a couple of days that she was going to. She was looking forward to it, and the shoot was for a pilot. And so she was like, "I'm fortunate because this pilot is already picked up. It's going to show really what this means for us is this is just postponing the shoot. Eventually we will shoot this pilot and we'll shoot the rest when we shoot the rest of the series because this is picked up." But she did mention, she was like, this is fortunate. This is one circumstance. There are countless other, it's pilot season right now. There are countless other things that probably that was their shot. This was their shot. You know what I mean? And they're getting them being postponed means it's a wrap for you. You know what I mean? And so that got me thinking to how this is affecting the greater, I guess the movie business as a whole. What's this show about anyway, except for us being fanboys and girls about movies and and stuff like that. But how this is affecting that as a whole. Yeah, we're getting stuff that are pushed back. This is stuff that's already been shot. You know what I mean? And is ready to film. So what about the stuff, the coming things? You know what I mean? Well, for instance, pilot season. This, I'm wondering what that's gonna look like this fall. You know what I mean? When new shows aren't really being shot right now.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree, especially since I don't know about you guys right now, but one of my other outlets besides building Legos is catching up on all my TV shows, and obviously there's tons of content right now, but who knows how long this is going to last. We're supposed to get out of a lockdown on April 7th, but that's not going to happen.
I don't see that happening. I mean, as much as I want to, I don't think it's going to happen at all. Renee?
It is scary to think that there may not never be, but because there are still other mediums in the entertainment industry. So we're probably still going to get animations because
they're always quarantined.
People, but yeah. So yeah, it's scary to think that we may never get as much new content coming. We're going to run out of new escapisms because that's all entertainment is for us.
Yeah, and as CJ was saying, the people that are working at it are really adversely affected. I know, especially in Broadway, which is different from the TV world a bit, but there's been some plays that have just been, they were previously now just canceled, they're never going to be performed. So all the work that all those people did is just gone. It's
very sobering, very, very sobering. I don't know how I feel about it. It is sad, but I've been using this time to learn a little bit more myself. Sara hooked me up as a post producer runner, so I've been learning a lot about. So I've been using this to learn a little bit. I think I've told CJ this. I think that this is. I'm a big believer in faith. I'm a big believer in something happens for a reason, and I believe that this is Earth correcting itself. It's very much. I've been using this a lot from Jurassic Park. Insert clip here.
It's not possible. Listen, if there's one thing the history of evolution has taught us, it's that life will not be contained. Life breaks free, it expands to new territories, and it crashes through barriers painfully, maybe even dangerously, but So there it is.
There it is.
You're implying that a group composed entirely of female animals will breed?
No, I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
All right, so it's just pretty much I believe that it's Earth life finds a way of like when there's overpopulation on under resources. I feel it's just Earth life finding a way. Being like I gotta correct myself, I gotta survive, and I feel that this is it. Unfortunately, war.
Yeah, because.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, because it is very much the Earth is like a body itself.
Mm-hmm.
There's too much going on, and its body is fighting to correct itself right now, like you said. So yeah, it's very unfortunate that it's happening, but it's just nature taking its course, you know. And it's kind of crazy because I'm at the parks. I'm seeing more of the wildlife thriving because there's been less traffic going into the parks.
Are you getting pictures of those? Are you able to take pictures while you're?
Oh yeah, I actually got a close up of a red tail because he didn't fly away from me. A red tail hawk didn't fly away from me for once, and I'm like, this would never happen.
I only know what that is because of Animorphs. I used to read it all the time as a kid. So.
Oh
yeah. Bring it back to the. Bringing it back to our nerd culture. All right, so
yeah.
So whoever's watching, so my birthday is April 16th. Hopefully we'll be out by then. So April 16th, you're all invited. Most of you. St. Stephen's Green, 223 Castro Street, Mountain View, California. Just meet up. Hopefully we'll out by then. Sara, Renee, CJ. Well, CJ in spirit, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe not. Maybe you will be here. Who knows? Life finds a way.
Life finds a way.
Right. I'm sorry. Sara, Renee, anything you want to touch on? Anything you want to say before we move on? Or how do you? All right. So let me ask you this, ladies. How do you feel about this home version of the show? Would you want to do more of this more often, or do you want to go into the studio? Renee?
I like both, honestly. Like, if we can't meet up to do the studio, this is fine. This is perfect.
Sara?
Yeah. Well, I think we get a little better quality in the studio, but our content is more important than any quality of a broadcast. So, I mean, either way works for me.
Because CJ and I were trying to do a little bit more continuous, I guess is the word I'm saying. Is that what I'm looking for? More frequent. That is the word. I don't know how to speak English anymore. I don't know why it's on you. I can't speak English no more. But yeah, we're trying to do it more frequently. So this is this week's topic for the next one. That's all I have. Anything else we want to go before we say goodbye, ladies? CJ. Nah. Alrighty. Well,
wait. How about any like binge recommendations for anybody?
All right.
Chernobyl. If anyone has not seen Chernobyl yet, I loved it. Or Cheer. Oh my gosh. Cheer. Fabulous. You're a little laughing at me right now, but like I started watching it and I was like, oh my god, I can't stop. Like I want them to make another season, but they obviously aren't going to be able to do it this year because I'm pretty sure the competition's canceled. But glorious.
So no, it's on my list, and I do want to watch it, and it's something that I couldn't imagine Sarah Bennett watching, but. I got one, but I'll go back to that. Renee, what do you got? Binge recommendations?
Binge recommendations? Well, for the length of the quarantine, if you're looking for a good anime that's lengthy, One Piece, which is 900 plus episodes, that'll last you until the end of the quarantine for sure. But serious recommendations, I just finished watching, I don't know if any of you have Hulu, High Fidelity. If you're into music, I recommend that show.
Is that based on the movie or the book? Or is it a mixture of both?
The TV show. It's a TV show with Zoe Kravitz in it, and she is great.
Okay. No, I know it's a TV show because I heard about it recently, but I didn't know it was a book. First, I thought it was just a movie. But they were saying that, from what I understood, if I heard him correctly, was that it borrows from both the book and the movie, and it kind of just makes...
Yes.
Yeah, okay. CJ, your recommendation, good sir.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm gonna dip into anime. It's funny because I'm such a huge One Piece fan. But freaking, I'm gonna dip into anime, like an anime that is on Netflix right now. That is kind of topical a little bit. It's a little bit cheesy. It's kind of goofy. But it's called Cells at Work.
Yes, I want to watch that.
Yes, it is kind of fun. It's basically like it's about the human body, right? But like everything is anthropomorphized. Like they don't even like make it look like it's about a red blood cell and a white blood cell, and they don't even make them like look like red blood cells. They just look like people. The body looks like a normal Japanese city, like, and like all of like the main like like processing plants, something that a city would need to survive and thrive. You know what I mean? Like the digestive system is like some huge like processing plant, process food, and like it's about a red blood cell, and she does what a red blood cells do, which is deliver oxygen to different parts of the body. But she's like a FedEx delivery worker. You know what I mean? Who's like delivering oxygen. You know what I mean? And like. And then it's also like kind of like an action fighty anime because the white blood cells are like fighting these like viruses and stuff. And like each of the like viruses are like a straight up like super villain like kind of. It's like a really like it's interesting. It's an interesting watch.
All right. So Sarah recommends Cheer and what's the other one? Chernobyl. It's on my list. Chernobyl. Cheer is on my Netflix list. Renee with 2 E's recommends One Piece and High Fidelity. CJ, your thoughts at work. Me, I've been listening to this podcast because I found it through Mark. So I'm a big Kevin Smith fan, and I listen to all his podcasts. And one of his hosts is called Mark Bernard, and he was on this podcast with the lady called this lady. Listen to me. What is this? Old timey times. Her name is Erin something. Erin Tovala, I think. But her podcast is called Hot Pizza Ass. But pizza, Pizza. And I'm like, that's funny. And it's pretty funny. It's pretty. One of them gets pretty deep about isolation and self love, and it's. I like the kind of stuff. I recommend it. But I've also been watching. I've been binge watching because it's me. Boy Meets World because it's me. All right. Any last thoughts and comments before we say goodbye to the good folks at home? Any quarantine recommendations?
Wash your goddamn hands.
Sarah, anything?
Stay safe and wash your hands.
All right, Renee. All right, cool.
And don't cough on people.
All right, anything, Sarah?
Get exercise while you can from a distance.
All right.
What they stay said. 6 feet away from each other.
But like walking isn't good.
Yeah.
So run. Go back to my running is what I'm hearing. All right, I will. I see it in my face. All right. Well, I think this was a good episode. I want to do more of these months if we can. I think this will be for at least the next couple of weeks. So, St. Stephen's Day, my birthday. Why do I keep sticking on you? All right. Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.